poppin'? I feel like I want to do this video. I was going to do it just via other way instead of being on live, but I feel like I got to share this because, you know, I think it's just better for me. And I have explained this story plenty of times, but I never shared it with the actual world or whatnot, or Facebook universe, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But now I think it's a good time for me to express this. So, we all know tomorrow's Christmas. Yeah. And for most of y'all knows me and my family personally, you know, Christmas is not really the best holiday for us because of our of our reasons. And I know one of the main reasons is the fact that, you know, tomorrow will make 8 years since my sister was taken from us. It's probably the worst Christmas present that a person can ever receive is to lose one of your loved ones by being at the wrong place at the wrong time. And I talked about this on my podcast a few times, but I always told myself I always want to do a video of it, so I'm going to share this, and I'm going to do it right here, right now. And if you want to chime in, you do whatever the fuck you want, I don't care. I just got to get this off my chest. So, let me start back. In 2014, I'm going to go back like at least a couple months. My sister, most of y'all know her as Shanika, Bernie, or Chocolate, whatever. She at the time was working at Walmart, and she wanted me and her boyfriend at the time to also work at the same Walmart that she worked at. So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. I ain't really put no effort into it, or I ain't really trip about it, but I was like, fuck it. I needed a job anyway. So I was 20 years old when this shit happened. I ended up getting a job that I ended up hated it later on in life, but that's just a whole nother thing for another story. And I'd probably say like a week before Christmas, she had me to ride with her to somewhere, I don't know where the fuck it was. And we end up, you know, talking. I think she was like getting some weed or whatnot. I don't fucking remember. But whatever the case is, I did her a favor earlier in the week, and I took her to work, and she was going to pay me my $20 for gas. And I was like, cool. Because normally my sister, she never ever pays me back my goddamn money. As I could count on one damn hand how many times she ever paid me back fully without paying me half of it first, which I'm not a fan of, but that's a whole other thing for another story. Anyway, end up doing that. She only paid me half my money, and I got so mad. I got so angry at her. I was just like looking at her like, you only pay me half, you know this, right? She's like, yeah, you're gonna have to wait on the other half. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why do I'm like, I'm not even finna waste my breath. I sat there in the car while she was doing her thing. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna say nothing else to her. I'm just gonna completely ignore her. And I did that. Probably ignored her longer than I normally used to do. I ignored her at least maybe 4 or 5 days straight. And I'm like, damn. And of course, it bothered her. In a couple of days, during those couple of days, it didn't really affect her because she didn't really trip. But when she started to realize, like, damn, and my little brother mad at me, she started to take notice that I'm not saying nothing to her. I didn't even say good morning to her. I didn't even acknowledge her presence at that time. And I was like, damn. I'm like, how long I'm going to keep this up? Because I didn't know how long I was going to keep ignoring her because I was, like I said, I was mad, whatever. So probably like I think either the 22nd or the 23rd, she just she was at the table, she was at the living room table, and she seen me coming down the stairs. I was starting to get ready for work or whatnot, and she was like, "Man, why are you not speaking to me? Why are you not saying nothing? You completely ignored me for these last few days, and it's bothering me, and I want to know why." So right before I about to get ready to walk out the door, I was like, I had a decision to make. I either tell her how I felt, or I don't say nothing at all. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to express how I feel. And I basically told her everything, how I truly felt at that time. Because I didn't feel like she respected me as her little brother, as her brother overall. Because, growing up, we used to fight a lot over every fucking thing. I know a lot of y'all have siblings or whatnot. Y'all used to fight over everything, but that's just me. But when it comes down to me and her, we always fight over the most stupidest shit. And it'd be crazy and funny as I think about it now versus back then. But at the time, I just didn't feel like she respected me enough as her little brother. She didn't. I don't think that she respected me as her little brother growing up. Her little brother is a man now. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may is, I just let her have it. I expressed to her how I felt. I said some of the most, probably one of the most foulest shit to her that it took me a long time for me to forgive myself. But overall, I basically told her, and if I can remember correctly, I basically told her, I don't think you respect me enough. I don't even think sometimes you even love me as your little brother. I think you like taking advantage of me, of the fact that because I am the youngest between us two, and you use me and shit. I was just saying everything. I was letting her have it. Like, I ain't give a fuck about anything. I expressed to her how I truly felt at that very moment. And I got it all off my chest. She sat at the table, didn't say nothing but shed a few tears. And she said, okay. And I walked out that door. I didn't even look at her. After she shed a few tears, I walked out the door and went to work. So I got a text from her later on that day saying that your money is on the table. So she paid me the rest of my money. And this was, like I said, 2 days or maybe 3 days before Christmas, whatever. And that was basically the very last time I saw her alive. I did not know that was going to be the very last time, but it was. So let me tell you. Let me tell you guys what all happened the morning of Christmas. Um, I had to work that night on Christmas Eve, and I got up, and I think I slept half the morning away, whatever the fuck the case may be. And I was like, you know what? I ain't finna be in this house. I'm finna go around family, spread some holiday cheer, wherever the hell. And I visited my auntie, my uncles. I went over across Illinois, visited a few family members over there. Whatever the case may be. Yeah, I was just feeling pretty good. Whatnot. I was just still tired like a motherfucker though. So I got to my Uncle Ruben's house, God rest his soul, and I was hanging out over there. I got a phone call from my grandmother, and she called me twice, but I didn't answer. She sent me a text, and she said, "Hey, this is urgent. I need you to pick up. And I'm like, oh, whatever. So I ain't think no much to it. I was like, okay. So I step outside, stand on my uncle's porch, I stand on top of the stairs, and I called my grandmother back. And next thing you know, I asked her what's going on, and she was on the phone crying. And I'm like, what's going on, Granny? Why are you crying? She was like, your sister has been in an accident. And I'm like, an accident? Like, what type of accident? Because at this time, Shanika had, like, I think, like, maybe, like, 2 accidents. And the last one wasn't really as physical as the second one was. But anyway, I asked her what type of accident it was. She was like, it was very serious. And I'm like, damn. So I called mom and dad and I asked them about it. And they basically clarified it for me. They confirmed it that, yeah, she was in an accident. So I'm like, where I at? I'm on my way or whatnot. They told me, don't you go anywhere. I'm like, fuck that. I'm finna meet y'all where y'all at. Just let me know where. So dad was like, no, you stay where you at. Give your keys to your uncle right now. So I gave my car keys to my uncle. And uncle was like, well, nephew, you heard what your mom and dad said. You can't go nowhere. So during that entire day, I couldn't do nothing but sit there and think about my sister. And I was praying to God that I hope that she makes it through. I couldn't think, I couldn't concentrate, I couldn't enjoy the family gatherings. I couldn't. Then as the night comes through, Uncle gets a phone call from Pops. Pops said, okay, you can bring Al up here. So Uncle was just a little bit tipsy, but we managed to get there. And we was at the SLU hospital. And got there. I got there as fast as I could. I couldn't wait up on Uncle. Next thing you know, I was seeing all my other family members. They was all just standing around. I seen my grandmother broke down crying. Haven't seen her cry like that in years. I see my mother talk to my auntie Mickey. And I was like, Mom, what's going on? And she basically said that I'm gonna let your father tell you. So I found Pops gathering his thoughts together. I'm like, Dad, what's going on? So he pulled me to the side and he put me in this little prayer room that they have up there at SLU. And we sat right there in front with a big cross sign. And I'm like, what's going on? Next thing you know, all the other males in my family start coming in and sat behind all of us. And I'm like, still confused and lost as of right now, like what the fuck is going on? So Dad took a deep breath and he basically explained it to me what happened. And as I'm sitting there, I'm thinking like, okay, what's the result? Took another deep breath, breathed in and out, and he looked at me and said that she didn't make it, man. From that 1 second of him after saying that shit, I was stand up, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Do not tell me no shit like that. First time I ever cursed at Pops. And I'm like, do not fuck with me like that. I don't know what happened. I think a part of me tapped into that the anger mode to the point like I damn near about to get ready and seek and destroy anything that crossed my path. Everybody was holding me down, and I'm telling everybody, get the fuck off me. That was one of the most painful news I ever heard my entire life. And then we went to see the body. Seen the body. I never seen blood like that ever. You know, they had tubes and shit in her mouth. And they hurted me because she was right there laying on that desk or a table, wherever it was, or on that bed, whatever. I tried my best to squeeze her hand, and I didn't get no response. And still to this day forward, I still have that image in my head. 8 years, 8 years. That shit plays in my motherfucking head around this time, and I never quietly forgave myself about what I said to her. It took me maybe like 5 or 6 years after her passing for me to finally accept the fact that, what I said, I was angry at the moment. I was mad. I was pissed off. And I always ask myself, if I can take back of what I said to her that day, maybe, just maybe, she could have still been here. That's why I be telling everybody who has siblings, regardless if it's just two of y'all or more than two, love your siblings no matter what. No matter how fucked up the world treats them and how they treat us, love them, because as soon as they gone, your biggest regret and the biggest feeling that you're going to have is the fact that you're going to feel sorry for yourself and for them. See, I don't mind sharing this, telling y'all this, because it's been 8 long years, and I still reflect back on it. Because Christmas will be that day. Christmas will be that moment for all three of us. And it was all over the news. It was all on social media. It was everywhere. I distanced myself from everybody. I went to Illinois, stayed with my family over there for probably like maybe maybe like for 2 weeks straight before I have to go back. Whatever the case may be, I didn't want to be bothered by any of this shit, by anybody. I distanced myself away from everybody. Crazy part about that, the fact that her birthday is exactly a month away from Christmas. See, my sister's birthday is January 25th. So yeah, she's an Aquarius. Didn't know how to deal with them growing up because around the time, Aquarius could be a difficult person. So, and I'm a Pisces, so I know I'm difficult, but I don't give a fuck about that. I don't give a fuck about zodiac signs or whatnot. It just, it was hard for all of us. Everybody who knows her personally, it was hard for everybody. And all the kids that grew up with her, went to school with her, is either ain't doing nothing or no longer living. And that's not completely fair to them. And also the people that's doing something now, that's not shade towards nobody when I said that either. It's just the fact that when my sister passed away, everybody else just kind of felt distant. I don't know what it was about my sister that everybody loves outside of her main family, but I know she was loved by everybody. Everybody wasn't the same after she passed away because it's just feels surreal. She's one of the most sweetest people ever. One of the most realest person ever I ever met. She lost her life in a car accident. Still to this day forward, I always be paying attention to what the fuck am I doing, where am I heading to, where am I? Because I always look at it like this: we all is here to die. We all is born to die. That is one of the most painful truths of all time. But I'm completely fine with that. I fully accept the fact that we here today, but we're not promised tomorrow. So you gotta live your day every day like it's your last. And I could truly accept that. So I'm glad that I finally shared this with everybody, whatever. I'm finally glad that I got this off my chest. Like I said, I've been wanting to do a video version of this story for some years now. And I finally got a chance to do it. I was gonna, do this and put this on YouTube or whatnot, which I still think I'm still gonna do that, but it's gonna be in a different version, whatever. But yeah, and I normally haven't been live on Facebook because I normally don't do live shit like that at all. I only does it when I'm either making music or talking to other people, or if I feel pretty good, just want to share some of my knowledge and wisdom on social media. I'm going to do that. So yeah. Another thing I didn't tell you guys, after my sister's passing, I did took music production very, very seriously. I have this record called it's called Lay Down, whatever. No, it's just called Lay Down. It was the very first record that I ever made by playing it off of a piano. and I was sucked playing piano at that time. But I don't know what it was. I made that record probably like, let me see, looking at the calendar, probably like 2 or 3 days after her passing. I can't recall what the fuck I did those days, but I know I went to the studio, and my mentors was checking up on me. I was like, Lonzo, you okay? No, no. So I told him what happened. I was like, man, I'm sorry about that. I'm like, I just want to be left alone right now. So they gave me my space. So they was like, hey, I got in that motherfucker. Couldn't come up with nothing. I couldn't make nothing at all because I was too distraught. I was too unfocused. I was just too pissed off and angry of what I witnessed. So I hit the keyboard, came up with these weird ass notes, put some drums to it, and bam, that's how I made that record. Now you guys can hear that record off of my Christmas EP that came out last year called Moe's Christmas, or how I like to call it, capital MOE Christmas, and it's on streaming platform services everywhere. So it's been on there for a year, so check it out from your boy. You know what I'm saying? And you just tell me how it is. Finna get off this damn live because my phone finna die. I hate this damn iPhone. Don't judge me. So, that's all I gotta say. Deuces.